If you think you need to sweat for hours on a treadmill to live longer, the Western fitness industry has sold you a lie. You might have felt the shift if you tried the breathing technique we covered yesterday. Maybe it was subtle, a moment of clarity, a deeper sense of calm, or simply the realization that your body was finally listening. But here is the ultimate biohack that the Japanese centenarians know and most people in the West never discover. Breathing alone is incomplete. The Okinawan elders who live past 100 years do not just practice their breathwork in isolation. They pair it with 6 specific movements that create what neuroscientists now call integrated neuroplasticity. This is an absolute game changer for anyone trapped in the modern hustle culture. It creates a state where your brain, nervous system, and musculoskeletal structure communicate so efficiently that aging markers literally reverse. When Harvard researchers observed these traditional movements in action, they expected a mild cardiovascular benefit. Instead, they measured something extraordinary. Participants who combined the 5-5-5 breathing pattern with these specific motions showed brain-derived neurotrophic factor increases not of 40%, but a staggering 120%. Their balance scores improved by 63% in a matter of weeks. And their systemic inflammatory markers dropped so dramatically that the lead researchers stated they are not just slowing down the aging process, they are actively creating biological time reversal. Forget the exhausted mentality of pushing through pain and the endless hours at the gym. What you need is not more strain on your already stressed system. Today you are going to learn exactly what those 6 Japanese movements are, the biological science behind why they work so effectively, and how dedicating just 12 minutes a day can give you the mobility, independence, and mental clarity of someone decades younger. Let us ground ourselves in the powerful foundation we established yesterday. The 5-5-5 breathing pattern, which is 5 seconds in, 5 seconds hold, and 5 seconds out, is not just a relaxation trick. It does 3 critical things simultaneously. First, it optimizes oxygen delivery directly to your mitochondria, the literal power plants of your cells. Second, it activates your vagus nerve, forcefully shifting your body out of the stress response and into parasympathetic dominance. Third, it floods your system with brain-derived neurotrophic factor, the protein responsible for growing entirely new neural connections. This breathing pattern is your foundational operating system update. It is a biological signal that tells your body we are no longer in survival mode. We are finally in regeneration mode. But think about the average American day. You wake up to a blaring alarm, sit in gridlock traffic, stare at a screen full of urgent emails, and run from one deadline to the next. Your nervous system is perpetually trapped in a state of fight or flight, constantly bathed in cortisol and adrenaline. In this state of chronic stress, your body shuts down its natural healing mechanisms because it thinks you are running from a predator. That 5-5-5 breath is the brake pedal you desperately need, allowing you to finally enter a state of rest and digest. But breathing, no matter how perfectly optimized, only addresses exactly half of the longevity equation. Your body is fundamentally designed for movement. However, the way we view movement in the West is completely broken. We treat exercise as a punishment for what we ate, a grueling task designed to burn calories, strain muscles, and push through pain until exhaustion. We idolize the concept of no pain, no gain. The Japanese approach to movement for longevity is fundamentally different from this toxic fitness culture. There is no concept of crushing a workout or pushing your body to its absolute breaking point. Instead, there is a guiding principle called ko-nagare, which translates to the flow of life energy. Each specific movement you are about to learn is designed not to build massive muscle or scorch calories, but to maintain and open the vital channels through which your life, energy, and physical vitality move. Movement is not supposed to be a chore. Movement is communication. Movement is medicine. It is the exact language your lymphatic system, your stiff joints, and your proprioceptive nerves have been desperately waiting to hear. When those internal channels remain open and flowing, the aging process slows down dramatically. When they close due to chronic stress and a sedentary lifestyle, physical decline accelerates. What you are about to learn is not a workout routine. It is a daily maintenance protocol for simply being human. Here is what happens inside your body when you stop moving properly. We have all heard the phrase that sitting is the new smoking. In the United States, the average adult sits for over 8 hours a day. This sedentary lifestyle is silently destroying 3 vital systems in your body. First, let us look at your lymphatic system. This system is responsible for clearing cellular waste and supporting your immune function. But here is the problem. Unlike your cardiovascular system, where your powerful heart constantly moves blood, your lymphatic system has absolutely no internal pump. Lymph fluid only flows when you physically move your body. When you are stuck at a desk or glued to a couch all day, toxins accumulate, inflammation skyrockets, and your immune system becomes incredibly sluggish. You are effectively letting cellular garbage pile up inside you. Second, your proprioceptive system begins to rapidly deteriorate. This is the complex network of nerves that tells your brain exactly where your body is in physical space. When you stop moving in diverse ways, this connection weakens. This deterioration is the root cause of falls, which are currently the leading cause of injury-related death for Americans over 65. The fear of falling is a major anxiety for aging adults in the West, because a single fall can mean a permanent move to an assisted living facility. But the profound truth is that proprioception is not permanently lost with age. It is highly trainable, and specific mindful movements can restore it completely. Third, your joints require consistent motion to stay lubricated. Synovial fluid is the vital substance that cushions your cartilage and keeps your joints gliding smoothly. But this fluid only circulates when you move your joints through their complete full ranges of motion. Without this circulation, the fluid dries up. You get that morning stiffness, chronic joint inflammation, and eventually total immobility. You lose the ability to effortlessly walk up a flight of stairs or get down on the floor to play with your grandchildren. But here is what makes the Japanese movements particularly powerful and scientifically validated. They are meticulously designed around a biological concept called vagal afferents. These are specific movement patterns that directly stimulate the vagus nerve through specific body positions and breath synchronization. Research from top universities shows that these movements create a powerful internal feedback loop. The deep breathing physically enhances the movement. The deliberate movement then deepens the breathing. Together, they create a profound state of nervous system coherence. Brain scans show this as synchronized electrical activity across multiple regions of the brain. This is exactly why daily practitioners of these movements show significantly lower rates of cognitive decline as they age. They are not genetically superior to us. They are simply maintaining the critical biological systems that our modern Western culture lets wither and atrophy. Each of the 6 movements targets a specific aspect of this integrated system, and when performed in sequence, they create something greater than the sum of their parts. Movement 1 is called the rising tide. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, keeping your knees soft and not locked. As you begin your 5-second inhale, raise your arms slowly from your sides, palms facing up until they meet above your head. The movement should take the entire 5 seconds. Hold your breath at the top, arms extended, feeling the stretch through your rib cage and the activation in your shoulders. Then, as you exhale for 5 seconds, lower your arms in the same controlled arc. This movement does 3 vital things. It opens your thoracic cavity, improving lung capacity. It activates the muscles between your ribs that typically atrophy as we age. When these intercostal muscles weaken, Americans often default to shallow chest breathing, which directly fuels chronic anxiety. Neuroscience calls this movement upper body lymphatic drainage combined with shoulder mobility restoration, which is absolutely essential for those of us hunched over steering wheels and laptops all day. Movement 2 is the root awakening. Shift your weight completely to your right foot. Slowly lift your left knee to hip height or just as high as comfortable. Hold this position through 1 complete breath cycle. That is 5 seconds in a 5-second hold and 5 seconds out. Then switch sides. The primary goal is not height. It is absolute stability. You are feeling the thousands of proprioceptive nerves in your standing foot firing, recalibrating, and strengthening. Many people think balance is about muscle strength, but it is actually about information. Every micro adjustment your ankle makes while you are standing on one leg sends critical signals to your cerebellum, the brain region responsible for physical coordination. This is neuroplasticity in real-time action. Clinical studies show that this specific balance training increases gray matter density in the cerebellum within just 8 weeks. This movement is your daily insurance policy against falls and your long-term investment in the spatial awareness that keeps you living independently in your own home. Movement 3 is the meridian tap. Using your fingertips, begin gently tapping along your collarbones, moving from the center of your chest outward toward your shoulders. Then tap down the inside of your left arm from your shoulder down to your palm. Then tap up the outside of your arm. Repeat this sequence on the right side. Synchronize the tapping perfectly with your breath. Tap as you inhale, pause at the hold, and tap as you exhale. This movement follows ancient pathways in traditional Chinese medicine practices, deeply integrated into Japanese longevity philosophy. Western science recognizes this exact action as the stimulation of superficial lymph nodes and mechanoreceptors in the skin. This light percussion activates your immune system forcefully, increases circulation to your extremities, and provides deep sensory input that dramatically enhances your overall body awareness. It is the ultimate self-administered therapy that your stagnant lymphatic system constantly craves, especially after a long day of stressful typing and tight corporate deadlines. Movement 4 is the dragon spiral. Place your hands on your hips. Slowly rotate your torso to the right, keeping your hips facing forward. Feel the gentle twist through your spine. Hold this position for 1 complete breath cycle. Return to the center and then rotate to the left. This spinal rotation is absolutely critical for maintaining the health of your intervertebral discs and preserving the fundamental mobility required for everyday daily activities. We are talking about the freedom to easily reach behind you for a seatbelt or safely grab a heavy box from a high shelf. But there is a much deeper physiological benefit happening beneath the surface. Your vagus nerve runs directly along your spinal column. Gentle twisting movements mechanically stimulate this vital nerve, powerfully enhancing the parasympathetic activation you have already initiated with your deep breathing. Japanese practitioners beautifully describe this deliberate action as wringing out stagnant energy. Modern Western physiologists describe it as improving cerebrospinal fluid circulation and maintaining essential spinal flexibility. Both interpretations are entirely accurate and vital for keeping an aging body completely resilient. Movement 5 is the centering descent. Return to your hip-width stance. Place both of your hands on your tendon, which is located exactly 2 inches below your navel. As you inhale, imagine drawing grounding energy up from the earth through the soles of your feet. As you hold the breath, feel that energy safely gathering in your physical center. As you exhale, perform a slight bend in your knees, lowering your center of gravity just a few inches, as if you are preparing to sit down in a chair, but you never quite do. Hold this semi-squat position for just a moment. We are not talking about loading a heavy barbell for grueling squats at a noisy commercial gym. This movement specifically strengthens the exact stabilizing muscles that prevent devastating falls, targeting your quadriceps, your hip flexors, and your deep core stabilizers. But beyond building physical tissue, it is a moving meditation on stability. You are actively teaching your nervous system where true strength actually originates. It does not come from bulky surface muscles built for show, but from your deep internal core, from the precise place the Japanese have revered for over 5,000 years as the ultimate seat of human vitality. Movement 6 is the closing seal. Bring your palms together in front of your heart with your fingers pointing upward. Press your palms together firmly enough to actively engage your chest and arm muscles. Hold this specific position through 3 complete breath cycles. With every single exhale, press your hands slightly firmer together. With every inhale, carefully maintain that pressure but consciously soften your shoulders. This isometric hold actively engages your pectorals and your anterior deltoids. These are the exact muscles that rapidly weaken with age and directly contribute to the forward shoulder posture so many Americans develop from staring down at cell phones and hunching over office computers. This specific movement acts as an antidote, pulling you out of that dangerous tech-neck posture. But symbolically, you are also formally sealing the physical practice. You are explicitly telling your nervous system that this deep restorative work is complete. This newly generated life energy is fully integrated into your tissues. This is your deliberate transition from a state of mindful practice back into a state of vibrant daily living. Here is your complete 12-minute daily protocol. Begin with 2 minutes of the 5-5-5 breathing. Just breathing, absolutely nothing else. This calibrates your entire nervous system and perfectly prepares your physical body for deliberate movement. Then slowly flow through all 6 movements, spending about 1 minute on each specific posture. Do not rush this process. The speed is highly intentional. The slowness is the entire point. You are not performing random exercises to burn calories. You are conducting a profound conversation with your nervous system in the only language it understands best, which is deliberate, conscious motion paired with deep breath. End your session with 2 more minutes of just breathing. Notice the warm circulation in your extremities, the sharp clarity in your mind, and the grounded sense of being fully present inside your physical body. Do this every single morning. The Japanese centenarians do it right before their very first meal, when their body is primed for maximum neuroplasticity and their mind is completely free from the chaotic distractions of the day. Consistency transforms these simple movements from mere actions into powerful daily rituals. Let me tell you what these movements actually are. They are acts of pure defiance against everything our Western culture constantly tells us about getting older. They are quiet but powerful declarations that you completely refuse to become invisible, immobile, or dependent on others. They are vital investments in a future where you are not constantly asking for help to open simple jars, avoiding flights of stairs, or sadly declining invitations to travel because your own body has become a restrictive cage. Americans highly value ultimate independence, and this routine is exactly how you physically protect it. The Japanese have a beautiful concept called ikigai, which roughly translates to your profound reason for being. But your ikigai requires deep physical capability. It requires a resilient body that can actually execute whatever your spirit desires to do. There is an inspiring woman in Okinawa named Misao. She is 97 years old. She still actively tends her sprawling garden, cooks her own traditional meals, and walks 3 miles to the busy market twice a week. When Western researchers recently asked for her longevity secret, she did not mention superior genetics or a restrictive diet. She simply said, "I move because I want to keep moving." That is the hidden truth. Movement creates movement, and stillness creates stillness. Every single day you practice these 6 movements, you are actively voting for the person you will be at 90 years old. Modern science supports this completely. Neuroplasticity does not have an expiration date. Your brain can form new neural connections at 80 just as easily as it did at 8. Your muscles can strengthen at 70 just as they did at 20. Your balance can drastically improve at 90, but only if you give your nervous system the precise input it desperately needs. 12 minutes, 6 movements, 1 intentional breath pattern. That is the true price of total physical independence. When you look at the return on investment, spending 12 minutes today to gain 7 vibrant years of health span, tomorrow is the absolute best bargain of your life. The person you will be at 90 is being built by the everyday choices you are making at this very moment. If you are finally ready to reclaim your physical autonomy and refuse to age like everyone else, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend you want to grow incredibly healthy with. Your body has been waiting for you to remember exactly what it is capable of, so start this protocol tomorrow morning.